August 13th, 2018. Hope you are doing fantastic. Let's get right to it. Every Monday, well, not necessarily every Monday. Sometimes I just teach about direct mail, but I'm going to do what I usually do, which is I just went and got my mail from the past week, and first of all, I'm pleased to report that it is more than usual. It's almost twice as much stuff, maybe 1.5 times as many pieces as I received last week. Won't go through them all in detail, but I do have one that, man, this one definitely got me. Great job. But let's go through it in roughly the order that it arrived. So first of all, there it is. I talk about these guys a lot. The old AARP, and it's always something to do with selling me insurance. So since I paid my 10 or 15 bucks a year, they get to market to me like crazy, and they want me to buy health insurance, I guess, which just brings up a sore point from back in the day when Obama promised that since we liked our health care plan, we could keep it. And then, of course, we could not because he was out and out, absolutely knowing every second what he was doing, that he was just plain lying to the American public to get that thing through. And we could not keep our health plan that we loved and had for years. And so that threw everything into a state of a mess. And so anyway, that's bringing up the memories. Let me clear that out and move on, since all but the most Trump deranged, unhinged people have moved on from the last couple of years, but some people have not. All right, next, check it out. AARP again, this time life insurance program. So maybe not the health insurance, let's get the life insurance. Okay, not interested. Next, this is very cool. Talked to my financial advisor, who is one of the best on the planet. I think he's the best, otherwise I'd put my money with somebody else. And he is, what he's really best at is assembling a team, and he just brought on some other guy that managed all the funds for some major Fortune 100 company, and major hedge fund managers and whatever, have them all handling my money. And sent a thank you card to our previous address, but there's the old forwarding thing. And so now we got that, and it comes in a little thank you thing, handwritten, live stamp, did it right, and then I'm guessing it's going to be a handwritten note. It is. It's really nice handwriting, but we got some handwritten note. It's private, so I won't show it to you there, but maybe you could see that there was handwriting. All right, next. Looks like, I don't know, maybe it's a new mover thing, I don't know, but it's a little late because we've been here a little over 2.5 months now, and we get Terminix pest control, $50 off, and guaranteed pest protection. That is what I call good enough to get this thing opened to anyone interested in the least in pest control. We had a guy come out here. I think I talked about it recently. He came out a few weeks ago, and he was so proud of himself, he had to immediately show my beautiful wife, Michelle, look at that. 3 scorpions came out of nowhere, 2 black widows. See, whatever I sprayed around is working. He was also very smart to do that because he was telling us what everyone knows. He was telling us, and don't even think of not having me back again, or else these animals are going to continue to come back. And so Toby Mercener's here, John Bachman, Scott DeSalvo. We have an all-star cast here today. Thanks for joining me. So we already have our guy now, and they should have been right on our doorstep immediately when we move in this area, which is well known for things like scorpions and rattlesnakes and black widows. And you got to have that pest control, especially in the hot weather, because they look for cool places in the hot weather. So they come into the house, into the garage. They actually hang out in the lip of the pool because that's really cool. You got to get rid of them. But they were too late. Next, talk about bringing up a sore point. If you don't think that Obama lying to us and therefore we could not keep our health care plan that we loved was bad, look at this thing. I get a mailing from Wells Fargo. Now, they're smart. Now, of course, it's not to my name. It's to somebody else who maybe was a account holder with them. But man, if you've been following anything, I don't follow it that closely, but I've heard Wells Fargo in the news for one scandal after another. I mean, all kinds of fake this and fake accounts they were setting up. And oh yeah, I remember what I heard last week. Somehow they foreclosed on thousands of people's homes, or hundreds, or whatever it was. Like, actually that bad? Actually foreclosed on people's homes. From what I gather, people kind of like their homes, and so if you take them away for no good reason, it's kind of like not a good thing to do in America or anywhere likely, but it's part of like the American dream, isn't it? And so pretty bad. And so they are offering up to a $500 welcome bonus offer, and they have very smart see details inside. Okay, you don't want to tell this. That would be a good email subject line too. Some kind of bonus, blah, blah, blah. See the details. You got to click. You got to open. Okay, just as like getting an email opened, you got to get your mail opened. Of course, I'm not. I don't up to $500. They could give me a $5,000 welcome bonus. There is not a chance that Wells Fargo is ever getting their hands on any penny of my money, and I can't. It's hard. I guess they got other people's money, or they'd be out of business. But I can't imagine who the heck trusts them with your money. What? Anyway, next. Oh, we like these guys. So. Oh, I see what's going on here. This is, again, not addressed to us, previous resident here, but it says something about a Prime member deal. I didn't even know they had memberships at the Whole Food Store. We like the Whole Food Store. So this one will be saved and give it to my beautiful wife, Michelle, and she will likely be checking this thing out. And very smart. It has under their logo here, find a store, WholeFoodsMarket.com/stores. Now, it should be a little bigger because you can see I barely did see it. They're so proud of their big logo that does nothing to make anyone go anywhere. But at least, you know, I recognize Whole Foods, and people that like healthy foods or Whole Foods or whatever, I guess it's good to back up the mega millions of dollars they put behind that logo. But for all local business owners, you don't want to do that. Nobody cares about the name of your company or your logo and any of that BS. Nobody is making a buying decision based on that, unless you do like Whole Foods or other big companies and you put bazillions of dollars to get some recognition of your logo or your name of your company. Otherwise, cut it out. Next, this is confusing to me. DirecTV, which we are a customer of, and they seem to be thinking that we're not. Because on the back it says, immerse yourself in the hottest entertainment, which sounds like the general nonsense statement that doesn't do anything for anybody that you would say if you're a really bad marketer to a prospect. Now, if you were anywhere of an intelligent marketer, you would have an irresistible offer here, or at least an offer. And then if you were a very successful marketer, you'd make that offer irresistible. So you'd say 1 free month, 6 months free of HBO when you sign up now. You know, they're flipping a switch, right? I mean, they pay HBO a couple of bucks or whatever. Like, so if they have to pay HBO even $5 per subscriber, they give it to you free for 6 months, cost them $30 to sign you up to a 2-year contract and make thousands of dollars from it, right? So that would be smart, but instead, some meaningless slogan, immerse yourself in whatever. And second of all, we're already a customer. So I'm not opening this because, first of all, I don't, you know, if they're not recognizing I'm a customer, I think they think I'm a prospect. But why would they think that when their dish is right here? Their boxes are in our home. They don't even know where they are. How does the installation department not talk to the marketing department and say, hey, you can take this address off the non-customer list because I just put a dish and some boxes there. Hello. Next. Cox Communications, man, I share this stuff all the time because I get this all the time. We are also a Cox customer. My landline and my high-speed internet are through Cox, and yet here's a deal you've just got to see. Are you ready? Set. Throw it out. Dude, we're a customer. Next, finally, something that we're not a member or a customer of, Decisions. Oh, it's called a Smash Burger. All right, so it's a burger joint. I guess I could have gathered that from the pictures of burgers. And Decisions, triple the cheese, double the beef, $4, $5. I don't eat burgers. I don't eat cheese, so I don't know if that's a good price. Is that a good price for $5 for a hamburger? Oh, buy one entree, get one free, free drink. $1 off. Oh, $1 off a shake, whatever. Okay, typical stuff. Just like Burger King with the 2 Whoppers for $2 or something. I guess they're trying to nickel and get me in there nickel and diamond. If I were them, or if they were my client, they'd make a lot more money because I'd go for a bigger sale. I'd sell a membership. So I'd say for X amount, you're going to get X amount of burgers, fries, drinks, and whatever every single month. And I'd sell a membership. So I'd get $1,000 from somebody, $50 a month, something like that. I wouldn't just, this is for coupon shoppers, right? So I might go in there for the $4 burger, if that is in fact a good deal. But it's not such a great deal that I won't go to Subway the next day for a $5 footlong. And the next day to whoever else sends me a postcard and whoever else sends me any kind of marketing, because that's not, it's a one and done thing. Speaking of which, look at that, something like this, Money Mailer. Oh, now, is this the one, Money Mailer? No, I think it's the Valpak. Has the $100 in like 1 out of a bazillion packages. So no reason to open this one up. It's filled with crappy offers, mostly crappy offers for mostly low-end stuff anyway. It's a big, heavy-duty one. And if you look back in the archives, I did my longest Direct Mail Monday video ever. I did do a 2-hour video once where I went through every single piece in a Money Mailer, and I think the other one was a Valpak, and I was on there for 2 hours critiquing every one of them. Plenty of lessons learned for anyone that does any kind of marketing. Notice how this stuff works for direct mail, works for advertising, works for email, works for social media, the concepts and the strategies and the formulas, they're all the same, folks. Doesn't matter which way you choose. That's the last W of the WOW strategy, the way. And the way is got nothing to do with, very little to do. There are very little differences in the ways, but I'm talking about very basic general stuff here. Okay, next. This one confused me. I looked at it just long enough to cross the old address off to not make that all public for everybody, but I don't get it. It says house showcase to home or house to home showcase. That sounds better. However, the showcase, you would think it would, maybe the home would be up in the air, the showcase would be under it. I don't know, house to home showcase. And so I'm like, okay, that's going to be full of real estate and whatever, right? No. Right away, open it up, and it's another one of these, like the Money Mail. Windows and doors, 100 off, 500 off, this, that. What's this? Free, free, free. Very smart. I talk about it a lot. Get that word in there. Oh, my goodness. They must be watching my videos. Free, 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 free. That'll get someone's attention, the most powerful word in advertising and marketing, and then maybe I'll look at this and see what it is, some kind of air condition, which is big down here in Arizona because we have the hot Arizona sun. Speaking of which, you might want to block that hot Arizona sun. Okay, so I thought it was some kind of home showcase, real estate, and instead it's just a bunch of ads. That's where I saw it when I saw an ad for furniture. I was like, just a bunch of ads for stuff. Maybe I'll hang on to that and do critiques of what's in there in a future video. Look at that. I already threw one of these out. Now we got another deal we got to see. This is also just for me from Cox Communications. So unless you think I faked you out by throwing it out, no, I did not. Again, I got the mail once a week, so I don't know if this one arrived on a Monday and this on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Tuesday and a Thursday. But what are you thinking? They're addressed to the same person at the same address, and they seem to be the exact same piece. So, and if I open it up, they would be. I mean, what are you thinking? So, I don't know what they're thinking. But I do know the big companies like that have an awful lot of money, and they don't really care about a lot of stupid stuff. They send, as you can see, they send out all kinds of stuff to the wrong people. They send out stuff with the wrong messaging, without irresistible offers, not to the right target who. It's just done poorly. They send out double. They don't clean their list. But a small business owner, hopefully that's you if you're watching this video, can you afford to waste all that money in your marketing and to tamp down your results? You'll skew your results, right? You'll think, oh, I got this percentage results because half the pieces you mailed were, double mailings like that, or sent to the wrong address, or, piece of crap to begin with, or not to the right, prospects or whatever. So, we usually got to pay more attention. I say almost always. Let's pay more attention to our stuff. Okay, and the last one before I get to the pièce de résistance is another Clipper magazine. So I know I've heard of Clipper coupons, and maybe that's what this is, some kind of Clipper magazine. And again, we got all the same, $100 furniture and, stuff like that, with the bargain shoppers like this kind of stuff. Although now I remember from last week, my beautiful wife Michelle came on the video and said, oh, save that for me. It was one of these cheapo mailers because she said she liked the coupons or something. So money mailers coming out of the trash, and we'll save that for my beautiful wife Michelle. See that? Some people like that stuff. All right, now you got to see this one. This one fooled me. This is a winner. People that know that I keep saying how my mom passed away about 3.5 years ago, and I became the administrator of the estate. And it took me over 3 years to realize, hey, wait a minute, because my sister was still squatting in my mom's apartment, for crying out loud. It took over 3 years to get her out of there. And I finally able to sell the place. But I was like, wait a minute, I should have all the mail that goes to my mom come to me. I'm the administrator of the estate. I was administrator for over a year before I realized that. And who knows how much mail went to not me when it needed to go to me. So I put in this address, and I've received all kinds of new mover stuff that's addressed to my address, but it's addressed to my mom. And it says, hey, new mover. Well, again, as I talk about every week, my mom's not a new mover. She passed away over 3.5 years ago. But anyway, I understand there's some names when you purchase the new mover list, that's just going to happen. But check this one out. So, and I'll tell you how I fell for this one. But look at this. See, I talk about it a lot. You can pay the top copywriter and have the right piece, and you got to pay for the mail, and you pay for the printing, and you put it all together, and then you have the right online stuff to back it up, and the people are ready to answer the phone with the right scripts. I mean, you can do everything right in your marketing. And yet, if this piece doesn't get opened, like all the unopened stuff you just saw me throw out, then doesn't matter what was on the inside. Doesn't matter who was ready with how great a script when people called. Didn't matter what kind of stuff you had on your website. The big fun word people love these days is this funnel. Oh, I got to have a funnel on my website. 99% of business, by the way, in my estimation, in the world is done without a funnel. But this, you got to have a funnel. But having all that kind of stuff, doesn't matter if the thing doesn't get open, right? Look at the great job this company did of getting this thing opened. They put on here, it's personal disbursements, whatever the heck that is. Ooh, ah, it's official business. Postman this, attention recipient, blah, 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 blah. It just looks so official. It's got my mom's name on it that I said, hey, can't just chuck this. This might be, I don't know what it is. I'm not expecting anything about the estate, but this could be some official thing about the state. Now, a few things, gave me pause, made me think. I'm like, Gadsden, Alabama? What's coming from Gadsden, Alabama? But again, I just started forwarding this mail. I don't know where and what's coming to my mom that I have to handle as the administrator of the state. So it's looking all official. Nothing, no return address, front or back, to give it away, because then I could have looked it up without opening it and said, what's this all about? It was pre-sorted. That I should have noticed right away. Pre-sorted, standard, postage paid. But I'm like, even though it's pre-sorted, so it's going to a number of people, it could be some official thing. And here's what I missed. I didn't catch it until I had already ripped it open, as you can see, and laughed when I saw it was inside and how much it fooled me. I mean, here's a little hint. It's on orange paper. But then when I went to cross out the address to keep our address here private, I see this, or current resident. Oh, how did I not notice that? So did a great job up until then. Did a great job, and it fooled me. And most people will be in a rush and won't look that carefully. We'll just go, this is something I better open. But the or current resident, that should have clued me in that this is not anything official pertaining to my mom's estate if it's to or current resident. However, I did open it up, and then I had to laugh because they got me. Does that look like that's something pertaining to my mom's estate? I love it. Apache Junction, which is a town around here. $37 requirement sale, whatever that means, for 3 days only. All these cars. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Guaranteed credit approval. Thursday, is that? Oh, I missed it. I already missed it. This must have come, you would think, last week, I get the mail every Monday, so did it come on Tuesday? How close did they cut it to the Thursday, Friday, Saturday event? Especially in the summer when people are away on vacation for a week or so, you might not want to cut it that close. But anyway, as if I was going to go anyway. But man, a $37 requirement fee and then take over the payments. That's what I call an irresistible offer. I can drive away in a car for $37. I just got to take over the outrageous likely payments that they defaulted on because they're outrageous. If you know how the car sales game works, I guess we can talk about that another day. But basically, they keep getting you to finance a new car way before you've paid off your last one, or it no longer could run. So Americans are constantly falling for this and buying newer cars when they ought to keep driving their car and paying it off, and then driving a car with no car payment. But Americans can't think that way. They're like, I got to have a car payment. I ought to have that new car because, look, it has a DVD player or an MP3 or whatever they have now. Or the seats go back, and the back opens up when you clap on. I don't know what they sell cars for no reason in the world, and people fall for it and go, yeah, I got to have that car because of nothing. My car runs perfectly, and then say they're paying $400 a month on their payment. Now, because they're trading it in and it's not worth as much, well, they got to tack on something to the new payment. So the new payment is $500, and then 2 years later they get another one. Now they're paying $600, $700. So taking over the payments, who knows what they could be, but still. New and used cars, trucks, vans, whatever, at some Hyundai dealer in a town nearby. And I'm like, well, we have a winner. They fooled me, and they got this into my hands. So ding, 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 ding. I like it. Somebody else might be offended and think, oh, that's what we call the sneak up. I don't know. It's what I call it. People can call it different things. I call it sneak up marketing. No return address, no name of the company. So I didn't know what it was. I open it up. And then when you use sneak up marketing, a couple of things. You don't want people to be offended that you snuck up on them. Second of all, it behooves you to put an absolutely irresistible offer so that they say, hey, I don't care that you snuck up on me. Thanks for sneaking up. In fact, they thank you and say, thank you for sneaking up on me. If this said Hyundai, Horn Hyundai, see, talk about the name of the company doesn't matter. I love when people name the company after their own name. Johnson Plumbing, Horn Hyundai. What does that mean? Anything? Like so. But if it said that Horn Hyundai, whatever this and that, of course I'm not opening, right? I'd throw that in the trash. But they got me to open it, and then man, if I wanted a car and wanted to take over payments from somebody, like man, I'd really appreciate that I can put $37 down and drive away in a car. And they got cars and trucks and sport utilities and vans and whatever, and screaming at me, public notice. I guess that's how they try and get away with the sneak up. It's a public notice because it did say on here official business, public notice. One thing I would say, though, is if that's the point, the public notice should have been on the outside of the fold, right? Because the first thing I saw was the irresistible offer. $37 to acquire something. Didn't know what it was yet. Easy enough to unfold it and see that I can acquire cars for $37. That just sounds great to me. I remember back in the day leasing cars. Had to put down like $2,000-$3,000. Then I could lease the car. But I did that through the business and for tax purposes and whatever. I don't remember whatever my accountant was telling me in those days. So love it. It got me to open this thing. Almost nobody else got me to open anything. So great job. That's today's Direct Mail Monday. Let's see any questions, comments, because Phil Brakefield is here, and Phil says, I just see the word Gadsden, and I'm already laughing at whatever Phil's going to say here. Phil says, not much comes from Gadsden, Alabama. Right. I saw that. But still, on the administrative account, see, I guess that's another good lesson. When the mail is coming to me, what do I care? When the mail is coming to an estate that I have the responsibility to be the administrator for, I have a higher level of responsibility, and I'm opening the mail. So, take that for what it is. If you can somehow market to people that are caretakers of others, administrators of the estate, power of attorney for so-and-so, my father-in-law that has a chain of 8 or 9 beauty salons, and he brilliantly locates them all within a senior living facility. So if you've never been to one or you know somebody in one, you go sometimes, on the mezzanine or on the ground floor in the basement or something. They have like a little gift shop, dry cleaner, maybe a little something, and he gets a space there, puts in a couple of chairs, and suddenly he's got a salon with a captive audience of hundreds of the ladies that got to come down and get their hair done every couple of weeks, and they love to talk to the hairdressers and what's going on, and the grandkids are this and that and whatever, and the bill usually goes to the children who are adults, like my age, but they're going to the adults to pay the bill for their retired senior, assisted living parents, right? The 80, 90-year-old parents, the bill's being paid by the 50, 60-year-old kids. So you market to the kids, the children. We're not kids, people my age. I wish. But you market to the adults who feel, I bet my mom would like that. And so where the mom might easily just say, yeah, I don't need that. But the son, if it was me, I'm going like, yeah, my mom would like that. I'm definitely getting that for my mom. So think about ways you can market to someone who has a responsibility for someone else. Oh, where that works the best anywhere else that I know of, besides, I guess, parents of kids, is the pet industry. Because people treat their pets better than we treat ourselves, right? That's the old Zig Ziglar line. Like, would you keep your cat up all night eating a bag of chips and drinking beer and playing poker till 3 a.m? No, you wouldn't do that to your $5 cat, but you do that to yourself. So I say it all the time. Like, we fed our rambunctious, beloved Cocker Spaniel the finest dog food in the world from the refrigerated section in the Whole Foods store, which maybe there is a coupon in here for it. So now I remember, that's where my beautiful wife Michelle got the world's greatest dog food. And I'm like, we don't even eat as well as our doggy. So again, the caretaker for somebody else is more likely to want to take better care, to spend more money, to buy more stuff than that person or pet themselves. Think about it. If our doggy was buying his own dog food, do you think he gives a crap that it's the refrigerated Whole Foods, all natural? What, are you kidding me? He's like, whatever the heck fell on the floor, I'm eating. So that's what worked here. I'm like, I am the caretaker for this estate, and I better open this thing, and then boom, they might have gotten my $37 and take over the payments. So that's a winner. All right. John Bachman says, I love that envelope. Definitely going to swipe and deploy. There you go. Take a screenshot or whatever. And I know John Bachman, who does some fantastic stuff, all kinds of great marketing like this. And as a result, by the way, if you think people don't like sneak up marketing, you see right there, John Bachman says he's going to do this. Now, John Bachman was the owner of Bachman's Auto Care out in way out there. How do I forget the name of the town? Oh, Sycamore, Illinois. My goodness, I haven't been there in a while. 2 hours west of Chicago. And I think is the 7th or 8th year in a row. Who cares? He's going to win it forever. He has been voted by the residents of his county the #1 auto repair shop in the county, and various other awards like best oil change and best this, and John's the greatest guy and whatever. They vote for everything. So they love his marketing, just like I love that this piece snuck up on me and got me to open that thing. People love John's marketing. And so if you're sitting there being the typical timid, arguing with me, or I don't want to do it, or you're wrong, Steve, or that won't work with my people, or, if you sneak up, won't they be upset? Whatever. Take a hint. Mega successful marketer John Bachman uses all kinds of stuff that I share. When he was my client for years, we did it all together, and his people love him. Okay, so anyone that doesn't, they're not your customer. Who cares? Anything else? Phil is back. Phil says, love the weird that's a great thing. I didn't mention it. The weird $37 acquisition fee. Wonder if they tested 27 and 47. Right. 37. Notice how they got that magic number, because 7 has been tested to seem psychologically. And, I talk about the type of marketing I talk about, direct response marketing, is always comes down to only 2 things, folks, right? Hopefully you know those 2 by now. It's human behavioral psychology and math. So here we're kind of talking about both, but that price goes more to human behavioral psychology. Why does it end in a 7? Because studies have shown that 7 psychologically seems like a heck of a lot less than 8 or 9. So when you see sub's price $99.99, big mistake. Should be $97. That just subconsciously, deep in the head, psychologically, look it up yourself if you don't believe me. Studies have shown that 97, 37, 37. But if it's at 39, we're going to round it off in our mind and go $40. Of course, $40 to get a car, again, ridiculous, but 37, yeah. So 37 will outperform even 35 because it's a weird number, like John says. So you got to use these weird numbers. 37. What they're basically saying is anyone that'll take over the payments on these clunkers that are the payments are way too high for the piece of garbage car that it is. Oh, you know what? It must be specifically for people with crappy credit, I'm thinking. And so that's why it's said on there everyone's approved or whatever, because if you got to take over someone's other payments on some car you didn't want, you didn't order yourself, it might be because you can't qualify yourself, which so I know it's a bulk mailing because my mom had absolutely perfect credit and didn't borrow anything from anybody. Her house was paid off decades ago, and then when she bought her unit where she lived in the last 15 years of her life, she paid cash, and she always bought a car with cash, and she always bought everything with cash. She never owed anybody anything and had the most perfect credit you could ever imagine. I guess once in a while she would get some kind of credit cards just to get that perfect credit rating, but she always paid everything off in cash. So I think this is for people that, have bad credit, whatever. No wonder I don't know about it. Anyway, so, but yeah. And so pick that weird number and then, test it, because everything we do is testing. So that's a great point, Phil. I'm going to be on the lookout for more stuff from Gadsden, Alabama, and let's see if the next time they do this, because, what am I thinking? They'll never do it again. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Come on. They'll never do it again. Yeah, just like the furniture store you pass by every Saturday is going out of business, liquidation sale. Once in a lifetime, we'll never do it again. Never. All right, we're having way too much fun. That's it for Direct Mail Monday. Thanks, Phil, John, everyone else here live. Thanks for the comments, questions, concerns, issues, feedback. You hate me, you like me, whatever. Put it in the comment. And even if you're watching the replay, I'll respond when appropriate. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Had another fun Direct Mail Monday. I'll be back tomorrow with Topical Tuesday. That means something I haven't been paying attention to for days, the news. I will likely pay attention to, because that's likely going to be some kind of topic that people are talking about, thinking about, getting absolutely deranged about. Face it, everything, people are deranged. So I'll pick something, and we'll talk about tomorrow on Topical Tuesday. I hope you'll join me then. That's it for Direct Mail Monday. Thanks, everyone. Over and out. Oh, I got to click this twice. Hang on. Here's once. Over and out. Bye-bye.